It's about late April, early May. I'm in VC with my friend, and I'm saying, like, oh, none of these project management apprenticeships are actually taking me. Like, I'm doing the assessments, doing the online interviews, but I'm not getting any offers. And he's like, well, why would they? And suppose that's a fair point. I have some experience, but not a lot. I'm mostly specialized in computer science, so it's already past the usual apprenticeship application season, but there are a few computer science ones up. There's a network engineering at BT Group. So I'm thinking, okay, might as well apply, it doesn't hurt. So I apply, I get sent an assessment link, I complete it, and very surprising, within 2 days, I get a call back saying, you've passed the first round, here's another assessment, have fun. I'm like, okay, this is weird because usually it takes weeks for them to process it. So I do the second one, and again, within 2 days, they call me back saying, well done, we're inviting you to the assessment center. It's been like 4 days. It's like middle of exams. I do my exams, I prepare for the assessment center, but I'm not really preparing because at this point, I'm pretty much completely focused on uni. So I'm thinking, even if I do get an offer, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go to uni, which is a horrible way to prepare for anything, like any apprenticeship, because you're not giving it your all. You're giving it like 10%. I'm giving it like 5% back. Anyway, we set a date, 25th of June, and I do my exams. I pretty much forget about the entire apprenticeship thing. Finally, it's like a week before the apprenticeship, and I get a reminder saying, yo, there's got an assessment center in a week. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll do some revision, I'll do some preparation. I don't do any preparation. I keep hitting it off and off and off, and suddenly it's the day before. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll do some tomorrow morning. I thought I have to get to the train at 6 a.m., but I thought I could do it at 6 in the morning. Anyway, the hard thing was the night before, it was so hot. It was impossible to sleep. I got like maybe 2 hours of sleep. I get up. My coffee jar is empty. There's no coffee. I have to go to the train at 6 a.m. with no coffee, out like 2 hours of sleep, and I'm absolutely just tired, just dying on my feet. The train ride is like 3 hours there. There's a delay on the way to Cambridge because, you know, that's the standard British railway service extra. You know, when you pay for a ticket, always add 20% to the time because there's always gonna be a delay. I make it to the station. It's boiling hot. Like the sun, there is aircon on the trains, but the sun is still just like beaming through the window. It's not the most pleasurable area to be. I get on the bus. That bus was boiling. It's a moving sauna because there's aircon, but it's like only covering the middle aisle, like where you walk. Any seats, it's boiling hot. I put into Google Maps, Adderall Park, thinking, okay, I'll arrive there. I get off the bus and it says, you've arrived. Mate, I'm on a bus stop. What do you mean I've arrived? There's no reception here, no nothing. Anyway, I noticed somebody getting off the bus with a BT tag, like a name tag with BT on it. Something, okay, I'll just follow them. I followed them for like 3 minutes and arrive at the reception, which is top tier strat on my part, I guess. I arrive and there's about 6 other people there. Apparently they were all for the degree apprenticeship there as well, which was surprising because there was like a 30-year-old man, a 25-something-year-old woman, and a bunch of other people. I think there were only 2 or 3 other people that also just finished their L's, which is just wild. I'm competing with a 30-year-old man for this apprenticeship? Bro, wargaming, matchmaking, bro. What is this? Anyway, we start with a small tour and we all put into a room with our buddy, and the first thing is pass over your passports. You know, we have to make a copy. My passport right now is out for renewal, so I don't have a passport. Horrible first impression. I explained that. She says, okay, we'll sort it out through email later, which is kind of good, but it's obvious that I've caused inconvenience the first second I'm in there. And the worst thing is any notes that I revised on the train or on the bus, they're already flying out because we have to wait like 30 minutes before the interviewers finally just get there. And I'm the first one to be interviewed. Like I'm the first one to be taken out of the room to be interviewed. Like I thought, okay, maybe they'll interview some other people. They'll come back and they can help me a bit, like help me prepare for the questions. But alas, it was not to be. By the way, I'm like dressed so casually. I didn't have a suit at the time, so I was just like, okay, put in some trainers, jeans, and a shirt to be at least somewhat smart casual. I'm the most underdressed person there. Like there's 2 guys in full suits, like full wedding ass style suits. Anyway, I meet these 2 people. We go to another interview room and it's so casual. Like, I know they're trying to be official, but because I'm not even giving 2 damns about it, I'm being so casual. I'm answering their questions just by freestyling it, just stopping whenever I want, you know, asking them to repeat it, clarifying it, because in my head, I've already failed. So I might as well like enjoy myself a tiny bit, engage with them, have a fun, ask them about their life there. The questions are so weird. Apart from like the ones that I understand, like the technical ones, like code this, code that, how does this work? Why does this work this way? What's this protocol? And so on and so on. These weird questions, like what would you do if you were a team leader and you had friction between your team and the other team? Like, bro, what? I'm not a team leader. What? Anyway, so the interview ends. I know I've done pretty horribly, at least I think I did, because I was being the most casual person they've probably ever interviewed. One of the guys that was recording, he was in half shock. Like, the only part I think I did well was the technical questions because, just the only thing I had was technical knowledge and the other was just freestyling. So finally they're like, okay, this is the part we get nervous, ask the questions. And I'm like, the last question was what would you do if your team had friction? So I just ask, does this company have any friction between the teams? Like I'm fully hinting at the part that the last question, I'm making sort of kind of a fun of it. The other guy laughs and says, yeah, no, we don't have any friction, it's all good. And I guess it could be because they've been working there both for at least 12 years. So, I mean, if a company was bad, you wouldn't work there for 12 years. I mean, you're working at BT, you have a ton of experience. You can quite clearly go into any other company or industry you want. But in hindsight, I think this casual way of doing it might have actually helped me because I was not stressed at all. I was taking this sort of as a joke and everything I answered was correct. At least all the technical questions were correct. And I felt really good. Not at the time, after I left. So anyway, now it's time for the group exercise. The group exercise was basically you have a ton of options for different AIs and you have to pick 2 of the best ones for BT to use. Honestly, this was like a standard AI group exercise, so I just did it quickly, mitigate the risks. And this is about the time I realized 2 of my teammates, this is a 4-people group exercise, they do basically nothing about AI except what was given to them on the sheet. They don't know how it works. They don't know what risks are with it. So I'm basically having to explain to them how it works. And I guess that buffs my score, I think. If they knew how AI worked, they would have done a lot better probably in hindsight because especially on the email that was sent to us, there's going to be an AI question. Anyway, we do the group exercise. And the funny thing is, there's like 8 people and there's like 9th and 10th person coming and going throughout this entire exercise. 4 people being assessed and 9-ish people constantly watching you. This feels like live streaming with the people watching being right in front of you. It's so uncomfortable. Anyway, the group exercise ends. I'm like, okay, I think I picked the right ones because it was just my opinion and I was trying my hardest to not have my voice or my opinion be like overruling all of the others, but I was struggling to find a single good point they were bringing up. Like, come on people, you've got way more experience in this than me. So anyway, it ends. We have a small tour of the lab, and the lab is cool. Like, there's several server rooms, and I know it's like BT, so of course, the lab's gonna be cool, but I'm understating it. There were so many different machines, cool stuff. I have a small lab-ish at home, like oscilloscopes, couple of tools, small thingies. This thing is ginormous. Like, the school labs have nothing on this. This is perfect. There's not much else to say about this. Like, we go home, of course, with the standard British railway service. As I said, there's an hour delay on the way to Cambridge, because why not? Why not have a train completely reroute and leave me in the middle of absolute nowhere, like Bury St. Edmunds or whatever it's called, when a train only goes once an hour, if that. There was, in the British Railway, it needs to get its crap together. I'm not even bothered enough to file for a refund, but it's just pissing me off at this point. Like, come on, man, do something. I know it's hot, and I know, like, railways are melting. But anyway, throughout this entire time, I'm boiling hot. There was some aircon at BT, but otherwise, I've spent about 9 hours in public transport. I'm absolutely dying. I get home, and I feel like I've done crap, because obviously I've answered poorly in the interview. At least I thought I did. I was way too casual. I was underdressed. I was joking around with the interviewers, acting like it's no big deal. And then the next morning, I got a phone call. This is one morning after the assessment center. Like, not even 24 hours have passed. I get a phone call saying, how did you feel? How did you feel about this assessment center? And I'm like, okay, this must be like some sort of post-assessment center interview. And I was kind of right, I was. She asked a couple more questions and she's like, oh, well, if you're happy about it, we'll be pleased to know that you have been successful and we'd like to offer you a place on the operations team. But, if you have any other preference for any other team, they are also willing to take you. Bro, what? There was a 30-year-old man competing with me. And let me remind you, it's not just these 7 people. There were 5 other groups. 5 other groups of around 8 to 10 people. They need like, what, 5, 7 candidates? Bro, what? How did you narrow it down to me? So now I've just gotta decide if I gotta take this apprenticeship or not, because, I never expected to qualify. I don't know how in the world I did qualify, but I qualified. If you've watched it to here, you're officially the 0.01% of people who did. Please subscribe. 96% of my watch time is not subscribers. Please, I need this. Please help me. Subscribe and like. Goodbye.